class, you do remind how to record.
Don't mind them. Record. Okay. So good day class. Once again, yeah, we are in week 3 now. So day 2. And then today, this will be our agenda. We're going to briefly talk about what we did last class, not last week, though, just last class. Then, again, we're just going to talk about CICD briefly again. I know it's getting too much, but, I want you guys to really grasp the concept. And then, the visual code, it's nothing, just a code editor, nothing serious, and then Jenkins pipeline script. Then we talk about declarative versus scripted pipeline, and then the Jenkins file. Then we talk about the script syntax. Then we go to the lab part. So, okay, let me run the distance. So, again, last class we talked about Tomcat. We install Tomcat on the server. Then we say Tomcat is used to host our application, our WAR file, that Jenkins built. So Jenkins built it on a separate server, then it deployed it to Tomcat server. So basically that's how Tomcat works. You just hold the application. Then again, you can do some other things with it within Tomcat, where it's beyond the scope of this class. So you just have to understand, that it serves the application that we are hosting. And again, some website that you visit today, they are coming from a Tomcat server, that's the URL from a Tomcat server. A Tomcat server is hosting the application. So, and we do the installation, then we spin it up and do stuff like that. So then again, this is basically what we did. And, there's also like a pipeline, we build the application, package it to WAR, and then we deploy it into Tomcat server. So basically this is what we did last week. As you remember, when I make a change in the code with the color, when we access the Tomcat, we're able to see the new updates from the Tomcat server. So, which is a very cool small pipeline that we just did. So again, CICD, just understand this concept, guys, is very important. From the point, this is a developer writing the code here, putting it into GitHub in this case, then all these things will be done, continuous integration, build, unit test, integration test, any test they want to do, within, it will be within the pipeline, then they can review it, they can deploy to staging before they deploy to production. Different company with different way they implement CICD, but mostly they have to build the application, they have to do some testing with it, and CICD wants everything to be automated, to be no manual intervention, from the start, when the developer will push the code, we do git push. You want everything to just trigger automatically all the way to the end, at least maybe to staging before you can do. This is another sample of CICD, commit change, trigger build, and again, Jenkins, we kind of undo most of all these things, through integration of various tools, build, you can notify the developer or the team, run a test within that, notify if the test pass or fail. They can do all those things within the pipeline, So deliver, build to environment, deploy, do everything. So it's very, very important concepts in DevOps, and that's why most DevOps, once you Google DevOps, you see that sign that looks like infinity, that looks like 8, which is code. That's like it's very vital. So, and this allow developer to do nothing than to just write the code and push it. Then all these stages we are saying, about 7 of them will be automated, will be deployed, will be done automatically. If there's any problem in between, maybe the test at this point failed, you can send a message to every team or all the developer that your code test failed, and immediately they will rework it again, push it back, and everything will run. And if the test pass, then it can pass through this stage and go all the way. So it's very cool. It's allowed them to do things, to feedback, quicker feedback. They can know the status of their code. They don't need to wait till the end, and they, so it's so those are the concept of just a brief sample of CI/CD pipeline. So visual code, the one that I told you to, I sent an email that you should download. What it does basically, again, it's just to edit a code and to give it a very it allow you, we've been editing our code from Vim. Again, we can still use Vim and stuff like that, especially if we are not using if we are not writing complicated scripts. But in most cases, you want a good format. Visual code will give you that. It will allow you you see all the color and the like the syntax. If there's error in the syntax, maybe like like in Python now. Python is very space sensitive, which they call indentation. If maybe after if statement you don't put the right space after the if, visual code will underline that particular place that, okay, you then write this thing very well. So it's very powerful. It allows you to write a code in a very, very neat way, and make it, even some will give you like suggestion, like, if it has like a plugin, which you can also add with it, like maybe Python or whatever. So if you're writing like a Python script like that, it can, for example, if you write if, it will automatically complete it with you with like the next thing you want to write. So it's very cool, and makes writing script very neat and easy to read, and easy to write also. So basically, it's an editor, nothing serious, but very powerful. It's very powerful in this thing. Maybe you take an interview, which this thing have you used before? Code editor, visual code. It's there are other ones like Sublime Text. I like that too. And yeah, but visual code, again, it looks like this is how it looks like. Again, this is just a JavaScript code. I didn't write this, so don't be scared. So, but just giving you, you see all the color and stuff like that. When they are declaring variable here, it put variable in blue. Just making everything very cool, and so they can developer, or if you are writing any script, or same thing, if you are writing like a YAML template or this thing, we give you a very cool format. You'll be able to see how if you're not writing something proper, you'll be able to see then the coloring. So you can write the code here and just copy it. It doesn't matter. Just copy it and put it where you want to use it. And I will show you why it's important when we get to Jenkins. So this is what we're going to be talking about mostly today, Jenkins pipeline script. So this is a fundamental pipeline as code, treating CICD pipeline as part of the application to be version and review. So basically what this is all about, again, from the right now, this is how Jenkins pipeline could look like. Again, you see all the stages: build, test, deploy. It's very, it can be complicated than this in a bigger environment, but this is just the basic, and this is how it works. So instead of us doing inputting some of the stuff we were doing on Jenkins, you can write just a script like this. You don't need to do anything. Then everything will be automated. And one of the big things there is that it allow, for example, again, these things, you working on Jenkins, you not be the only one, you not be the only DevOps engineer in the team. maybe like 5 of you, 10 of you, I've worked in a team like 10 people or so doing DevOps, or 7 people. So what if you just click something on Jenkins and someone else click another thing? How would they know who did this or who did that? How would they know? So that's why they using code in most of their this thing is very, very important to company organization, because all this code will be in the GitHub. So anybody that go there, make a change, maybe change build stage to like deploy, or just mess up with the code, they'll be able to trace it, they can track it, there'll be consistency. For example, they want to use this same script on another server, they don't need to like know where to click again, because everything is they just have to copy it and put it in another server, and everything will be working 100%. So they don't need to like know that, okay, this is where I click, because when you are doing complicated things, doing all this installation or maybe configuring Jenkins server, there are so many processes you do. You remember that day we go to manage Jenkins, we click this, we click that. It's difficult to replicate the same thing, especially if it's a complex thing you're doing. It's difficult to replicate it in another environment, maybe another server that you spin up. Again, in organization, they're not working with one server, even with Jenkins. So it will be difficult if they are not in a code like this. But you put everything in a script like this, then it's 100% going to be the same anywhere, because it's just a code and it works on this server. You just copy the code, put it in the other server, everything will work the same way. So, but if you do it manually, you click this, do that, it's more prone to error, and it's difficult to really reproduce it in another environment. And again, I'm talking of large scale where they have so many things going on, not just the few pipeline that we're doing. So these are why all these things are very, very key. And all these things, they put it in GitHub. Again, it will be in GitHub. As a developer, you want to make a change in this thing. Maybe, okay, they want to add another stage to this. Maybe they only have build, test, and deploy. They want to have another stage that say, okay, deploy to staging before this. As a developer, as a DevOps guy, you can make the change, through GitHub, commit it. Someone will review it and do stuff like that. So it makes it more flexible to use, and again, easy to all the CICD tools, they follow similar pattern. Again, they are always written in scripts like this. So this one use a Groovy DSL, more like a Groovy base, but there's no Groovy, of course, but that's the syntax they use, like a Groovy based syntax. So again, this is just the syntax. We're going to talk more about this in the lab part. We're going to write stuff like this, and they use that instead of what we used last week. So then there's a difference between just good to know. It's nothing to really cram or this thing. But I remember I've had the interview, they asked me this, I didn't know it then, so it's a very, very important concept, not concept, just something to know. Difference between scripted and declarative pipeline Jenkins. So if you see the red character here, it says the key difference between declarative pipeline and scripted is the syntax and the flexibility. Nothing so serious. I will show you again how the syntax is different. And again, most time, you don't need to worry on how to write scripted pipeline. It's declarative that's very common these days. I don't think I've really worked with scripted pipeline before. I understand some of the syntax, but it's most places it's declarative, which is a newer and more flexible way to use. And these are some of the difference. In declarative, the code is written in a Jenkins file, which is pushed into the GitHub. We're going to show that in the class. Then I will show you, what they mean by this statement, writing it in a Jenkins file. So what happened is that if you want to write a Jenkins pipeline, you have to name the file, just like you are naming a file when you want to like create a file. You right click, create a file. you have to name that file Jenkins file. It has to follow the same letter. No, it doesn't have extension. You know, the other time we are creating file, we use .sh, .tst. This doesn't have extension. The name has to match like this, Jenkins file. That's it. So, you know, and this is declarative distance. Then you put the file in GitHub. Then automatically, you know, Jenkins will be looking for that file in your repository. Then once it says that, it will know that this is where the pipeline code is stored. Then again, you get better understanding when you get to the lab part there. You know, in declarative, it's written and it's put into the GitHub. Whereas a scripted pipeline, that's the old way. The Jenkins file, you can write it within the Jenkins environment itself, within the Jenkins console. You know, you can write it inside that. There's a space to write it, which I will show you again. So the declarative pipeline has a block, which is very key. One of the things you even, first thing you notice is this pipeline. Pipeline will start, if you go back to the last slide, you know, you see it starts with pipeline, you know, declarative, this is a declarative syntax. But if it is scripted, it will start with node, N-O-D-E, node. So once you see a pipeline script like this, starting with a pipeline as a word, you know, that is a declarative syntax. Again, that is the most common type they use these days. So again, you see from the right here, scripted pipeline is defined within a node. So they put it within a node. Then declarative pipeline was introduced. Again, the syntax is simpler with declarative pipeline. That's the good news. For the scripted pipeline, it's very straight with the syntax. So yeah, just kind of know the basics, especially with this pipeline parts. This one start with pipeline, the other one start with node. The other one is not flexible. Scripted is not flexible. Declarative is very flexible and easy to use. Then this one, you have to put it in a GitHub repo. This one, you just have to write it within Jenkins URL. So yeah, this is some of the sample of the scripted and declarative. So scripted, again, the first thing you notice is this pipe on top of a pipeline. You know, everything is within that big pipeline. Everything is on that pipeline. Whereas in this scripted pipeline, it starts with node. You know, just things to know, nothing serious. And these are the stages. Then this one stage, this one has stages, then stage or whatever. So these are the parts. Yes. Do you have it? Someone is talking. Okay, I think maybe that's just the mic. But these are just the syntax and how they are different. Again, the main thing is this pipeline versus node. This one start with pipeline, the other one start with node. So again, we're not going to be doing scripted pipeline. We just work with declarative. So but just good to know. Then Jenkins file, again, Jenkins file is that file which is just like your test file, just like you create a test file that ends with .tst or .doc or, you know, any file, you know, but you have to name it Jenkins file. You know, the name has to be Jenkins file. So it's a test that contains the definition of the pipeline and is checked into the source code, you know, which I will show you again how it works. So today's lab, we're just going to talk briefly on what we did last class, you know, about deploying to Tomcat, you know, using our old school Jenkins, what's it called, freestyle project. So then we're going to just show you briefly how Visual Studio Code, you know, how it works, you know, how you can create things from that. Then then we're going to work with some pipeline script, which will be declarative, of course. Then we're going to write some declarative pipeline to do our CICD. So this will be our agenda today. And so that's the end of the slide. Any question before we proceed to lab? So yeah, first, let me show you Visual Code, how it looks like. So this is visual code actually. So again, this is just a small distance I wrote. Let me cut it. I want to launch it from the start. Don't save. So I want to launch it blank so that you see how it works. So once you launch your own, this is how it will look like. You know.
The only thing browser we can also.
How? What do you say?
Your browser is what is showing, not the code.
Okay.
Your repository.
Oh, you didn't see the visual code. Okay, sorry guys. Something's going on with my share screen. Yeah, thanks for letting me know that. Appreciate that. Visual code. Appreciate that. Okay. Okay. I think you can you see the visual code now?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So once you launch it, this is what you see, something like this. I'm sure in Windows too. It's owned by Microsoft actually. It's very popular, very huge in the tech world. So again, the other ones like Sublime Text Editor and all this stuff. So where you want to go first is this, new file. If you want to create a new file, if you click on this new file, so it will, you say that select a language to get started by typing the language and this thing. Okay, what I used to do, I don't used to select a language or this thing. So I just type the name of the file. For example, I want to write a YAML file. I want to write like a YAML template or maybe this thing. I can name it like, okay, simple. I can just give it a name. This is the name of the file I want to write, simple.yaml, Then I will save it with Control S, or you can just save it directly from your terminal here. File, save, you can save it just like you are using normal this thing. So once you save it, let me just use Control. Oh, so I forgot I'm not on the Mac. I'm not on Windows. Let me use Control S to save it. So it's saving it now. So I'm just going to save the file. Let me see where I can save it on my desktop. So I'll say save. So immediately it gave me syntax. It gave me good syntax, so I can remove this actually. Again, you can do anything with it. You can go to the file and open it directly there. So, but now I created this file. It just showed me where I created it under my desktop, the name of the file. Now I can have good YAML syntax for YAML. I can say name equals Kenneth.
Kenneth, how did you get to this interface?
Yeah, just if you click on file, you should be able to see file.
Okay, open.
Yeah, you should be able to see file, or just go to the file on top here, new file.
Oh, okay.
If you go to new file, just put a name, then the distance with the extension, it will know that this is the language you are writing with, and it will allow you, give you good formatting. You see how
so this is the YAML format, right?
Yeah, this is a YAML format automatically. If I write Python now, I put .py there, automatically it will know this is a Python now. I can do a lot of cool things. I can say, okay, class, I can do this. I can say, let me see. Class, let me see. Profession. Different things you can do with this. It will allow you, it will give you the good formatting and the, let you know. For example, now this Kenneth, if I say if I didn't put space there, space supposed to be there. I didn't put space there. You see how it's kind of changed the pattern of the way it is written, because normally there should be space in between. So now it's telling me that you understand what I'm writing, and I can say DevOps, DevOps engineer, stuff like this. You can write, different things. It will give you automatically. This guy doesn't really follow. I think it follows indentation too very well. So it will automatically provide some of all those things for you and allow you to troubleshoot. Let me see if I have any code written somewhere. Again, if I have any code written, I can just right click on it that open with a distant. But let me just open new file. Any existing file I have. Okay, no, this will create a new file. So if I go here, if I say open, so it allows me to go to my directory, working directory. I think I have some, let me see if I have any code there. Okay, like this Jenkins file now that I have. Automatically, if I open it now, it will know that this is a Jenkins file. It will give me very cool formats with that. Oh, I think it's gone. Yeah, I think my Jenkins file is gone. So, but automatically it will give me very cool formats. I think I have a control V. Yeah, so this is the Jenkins file I have, and you see how it give me, you see how all the lines, how they are lined up, everything, you see it, know that this pipeline is the mother of everything. The word pipeline here has everything, like it's like the parent of the whole script. So it has to start with the pipeline. And, once I click, you see this curly braces. That's what they call this thing you are looking at here. And once I click on it, it's letting me know that it's end here. This is
over
the end.
there, right?
Yeah, in line 31. If I click on the stage part of it, so it's letting me know that stage end at this point. So this post actually is outside page. So all these things you are seeing here, all these stages you are seeing, they are under big stages. It's as simple as that. Just that I didn't put this indentation very well. If I tab it, let me tab this and then tab this again. So you see all my stages are lined up now, so all my stage, everything's lined up. So these stages, again, is letting me know that everything, all these things here, they are inside that stages. That's why once I click on this particular one, it's giving me in line 25 right here, and it allows you to troubleshoot easily. Like for those who have ideas of HTML, and yeah, of course, yeah. If you have any programming language idea, like, all those HTML code we are doing, PHP, everything is supported, Python, name it, it's very, very cool. The syntax will be, because those things, they have a lot of it's not easy for developers to, people writing all those code from scratch, because there are so many things in between. But all this thing will give you this clearer this thing. So, again, if you run into any error while running the code, it will throw you an error that, okay, line 17, that's where your problem is. How to, like, okay, go to line 17. Okay, what did I do wrong in line 17, or, stuff like that. So it's very cool. It makes things easier. Again, automatically, because I just named the file as Jenkins file, that's why it knows the syntax. If it were to be YAML this thing, I put this, it will just put everything as error. So, it's very cool, very, very cool code editor. Again, we can write our stuff here, just copy it and put it wherever I want to use it. I can just right click, copy it. Maybe I want to use it in my AWS EC2, or, I want to put it in the Jenkins. So you can put it anywhere. But, this one will allow you to write a cleaner script and give you very good syntax idea. So if I, for example, let me remove one of all these curly braces that's supposed to be there, but maybe not there. By default, I think they should maybe if I run the code, that's when it will throw me error. But it's supposed to throw me error that something, one of those things are not, one of them are, again, this one are just the syntax. I will explain how you can understand this better, but it's nothing, it starts with pipeline, just like I said, this thing start with pipeline, and pipeline covers everything from, head to toe. So some people, if they want to write it, they can do stuff like, maybe they want to write it from scratch. They can do stuff like, they can start with like saying pipeline like this, then put the open and close calibrate. You see, this guy closed it automatically for me. I just use the first one alone, curly braces. Automatically, he put ending there because he knows that I have to close this. So, so I can just enter, tab, just give everything space because everything has to be within this guy. My agent, I can now come to next line, agents, any, everything must be within this pipeline. This one that says pipeline, everything must be within that. Yeah, this guy that says pipeline. Then I can come here, then I'll say stages, then I'll put a curly braces again. Automatically it will close the curly braces for me. Let me put a curly braces. Automatically it will close it for me. Then I can like give it a space, then put some of the, again, most of all these things, you just have to like copy the format and just try to edit it on your own, to really, it's nothing this thing, but this thing will give you a better visual way to like do that part. So enough of this thing. Yeah, can you guys see my what's it called now? My dashboard, my Jenkins. Yeah, my browser, sorry. So this is my browser. Again, let me close this guy. Let me stop this. This is my whole this thing. Again, always check your AWS, once in a while, check your AWS billing dashboard. Again, I believe most of us set up this thing. They already charged me $3. I was running too much. You see, it showed me what was going on, my EC2. Most of you are still within free tier, so I'm sure, but always just check it. Just go to your name, go to billing dashboard,
That should be in your root account, right?
Yeah. I always log in with my root account. I don't really care about.
Yeah, because I'm using like IAM user.
Like a user, IAM user. Okay. Yeah, I mean that's the best practice, of course. Not to, but yeah, that's my root account. So I see what I'm using so far. If I'm not happy with it, I will go and shut down all my EC2. It's very important just to keep just a side talk. Yeah, so but again, this is the dashboard we worked with last week. Okay, and I don't know about that. So yeah, David is saying that there's also an app that you can use to monitor that on your phone. So I'm sure David will give us more detail about that. I've not used that before. It's not because I'm rich or anything, just that I don't. I always go to my billing dashboard manually, or I set up this thing. Again, if you don't have much stuff, for me, if I go back to my EC2 environment now, again, just click on service if you are lost any point. So I'm running 3 server, and then I think I will stop one of them. And one thing you should notice, once you stop a server, the IP address will change, the public IP address will change. And so, for example, let me stop this. This is my very old Jenkins server. So for example, this Tomcat server, if you remember when we use Tomcat server, we give Jenkins the IP address. If I go to my if I go to my Jenkins dashboard now, this was the last one we did. If I go to configure, once you are inside the project you are working on, it's like if you want to edit it, you want to check something there, you want to do anything, you go to configure. If we go to configure, you see all the settings we did. So, but if you are outside it, but to go outside, just click on dashboard to the left here. If you go click on dashboard, it will take you back. Then you can see other job that you've done that we've run. So if I go to, I think it's manage Jenkins, I set that up. No, I think it's within the job. If I go to the job, I go to configure now. Then I scroll down. Sorry, this thing I'm using. So if you scroll down, you see right here, I was providing Tomcat my IP address. So, I mean, this is just a side note, nothing serious right here. So you say I'm giving it my IP address, but what happened is if I stop this Tomcat server, the public IP address will change. And if it change and you are trying to do this, it will not work because you'll be having a new IP address. So you always note that in case you stop your server, in case you're able to install Tomcat and you feel like, okay, you stop it. For me, I don't think I've stopped it so far. So I believe my IP address should .60, it's end with .60. So yeah, so mine is still the same because I've not stopped the server. But if you stop it and you start it again, just like this, this old Jenkins, I decide to start it again, it will have a new public IP address, so that's how it works. You should take note of that. So again, if you terminate any server, you can't bring it back again. So always know that if I come here, I click on terminate instance, it's gone for life. I can't bring it up again. So know when you want to terminate or when you want to stop, and it's a tool. So again, talking of last week, this is what we did again. We're able to, this is the job. I'll go to configure again. Let me go to dashboard. This is the job we did last week. So, if I click on it now, if I click on the job, then I click on build now, this is what we kind of do last. Oh, why is it not? Okay. Yeah, it's building now. And, so basically this is what we did, we're able to build the job, then deploy it. Then we're able to, from the Tomcat server, because we deployed to Tomcat, if I go to this thing, we're able to access it from our Tomcat server. I think it's slash, the endpoint is slash, I think it's slash web app. I think so. So yeah, we're able to access it on this thing. So another thing I can show you briefly is this from Tomcat. If I sign in directly on this Tomcat here, because this is the home page, the one we just enter is just the part. You see the slash web app, which is the same thing as this, this. Let me go to my Jenkins. If I go to configure, is this part right here. Is this part right here. Any name I give it here, if I just give it web, that's the name I will be able to, that's the slash, I'll be able to access it. Let me give it just slash web and just say save, then build now. So for me to access it, it will be slash web. So I'm building again, then I'm deploying to Tomcat. So if I want to access it now, I will only be accessing it from slash web. So then I will show that, just so that you know how this works. If I refresh this, probably, okay, stay there because I still have the part. If I say slash web, I should still have the same thing. And then let me now go to the Tomcat itself. Let me just log in as an admin user. You don't really need to do this, but if I log in as an admin user here, I think I set up admin as the username, then password. This one is different from the other password we set up. But this we, oh, sure. Let me say admin. Then I think password or admin. Let me use admin. Oh shit, I can't log in. So I can't log in. So now I want to show you how you can view some of all these things that we deploy there on the Tomcat itself. So again, Tomcat is just holding our application. That's why if we make any code change, which we did last week, which I can do briefly again, but I'm not going to use the git command, that is scaring some people. I will just edit it directly from right here, so which will be this. I will remove the again. You can see the app right now have again. So I want to remove that from the code itself. Again, this is what developer will be doing. I will do edit. Again, it's not really good to edit directly from here. You want to use all these git add, git commits from the command line. So I will just commit it directly. Then the way we set up our Jenkins should know that we make a change, then it should build it, deploy the application again. Then on our website, you see Jenkins is pending now. We don't have to trigger it manually. It's done automatically because we tell Jenkins to pull any change, So when this one is done, we should see a new application. If I refresh this page now, you see the again is gone. We have the new test. We have the latest version. So, if companies are pushing new application out, that's how they make all those changes. And, with that, they don't need to do anything manually rather than just to change the code. Everything will be automated. Even testing, we can put testing within the code. Everything will be done till like almost the last stage before maybe they now want to do few manual final testing. So it makes life easier, make them to go faster. So again, previously when we go to like new item, this is where we created this Java project. We just name it Java project. You can give it any name. I can say Kenneth project. I can say Techdavez project or anything. So if I go to new item right here, if you remember this, how we created it, and we give it a name, we give it a name, then we click on freestyle projects. Then, we say, okay, that's how we created it. Then we started putting some configuration there, if you can still remember. So today we're doing something a little bit different. So we're using, instead of freestyle, we are going with this pipeline, again, which is the most common type, especially in the big organization stuff. So unfortunately, we'll not be using the freestyle again. We'll be going with pipeline from here. So I'll give it a name like a demo pipeline. Give it any name you want. It doesn't matter. Again, now you just click on pipeline instead of freestyle projects. Then you say okay, and that's it. So we created it. Then it brings us to this page again. I'm sure we are familiar to this page. We can do. But if you notice, this has fewer options. It doesn't have a lot of options compared to the other one that you see. Again, if you are confused, I'll go back again. I just save this. I didn't do anything there. So I'll go back to the distance. This is the old one we are using. This is the one I just created. Nothing is there, So, but I just want to show you how the old one looks like, the freestyle project. If I click on it now, I go to configure, which I will be able to see the setting. You see, it has a lot of options, source code, trigger, it has a build environment, it has build as option, it has post-build action, it has a bunch of stuff you have to do right here. But the other one doesn't have a lot of all those things because everything will be done by script. You only have few options to do on Jenkins. So I'll go back to the pipeline we just created now, which is the demo pipeline. I will click on it, then I'll go to configure. So I'm on configure now. Again, you see how this is very few, just basically just build trigger that we have to set up here, and the rest is the script. So again, talking about Jenkins file, this is what Jenkins file will look like. So now we have two options here. We can actually write the file here directly. saying starting with pipeline like this, then with the with this guy here. You see, this doesn't assist us to like put the closing curly braces. So you have to figure it out. That's why it's kind of difficult to write here. You know, you have to be very conscious that if not, if you have, so I will put 2 of them here just to be sure. Then I want to drag this all the way to the end because it will be the end of the distance. The next one will be agents, then any. We are using any this thing. This can be Docker, this can be some, it depends. But in most cases, you can just put any, you know, for example, if you are running your agent, which is like a on like a build environment, like on AWS, EC2, or, you know, separate environment, because Jenkins can work as a distributed server, you know, whereas you have a master, then you have other, they call it slave, but they kind of like deprecate that word now. They don't call it master slave again, they call it agents. So, you know, you can have agents here and they, you know, do other stuff, agents, then, you know, go to the next line, do stages. Again, you know, don't worry about writing I can write few of the centers of my head because I've done it a few times, but honestly, you don't really need to go to Google, see sample, you know, start from there. But again, you really need to understand how it works. You know, you can't just copy everything directly. So I'll just come here. Jenkins make life easier for us. So I will start with hello world, then I will build from there. So if they don't have this, I think they don't have this before, I'll just go online and just see the centers to get started with, then I will go from there. So this is the basic one Jenkins gave us. So, you know, again, we can edit our code here, or you can decide that, okay, you know, let's copy this, because it's kind of not too, to really edit it directly from here, it's not too kind of cool like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy it right here. You know, again, you can copy it right here and, you know, edit it. I'll go to my Visual Code, you know, Visual Code editor. Then I will, let me see what I will do here. Let me just clean this. Matter of fact, I don't need this. Okay. I will just come here and paste it there, right here, Control V. So this is what I will start with. Again, this is a template, and you know, we're going to have many options there. We want to have stages there. So the first thing you see, again, like I said, start with pipeline, and you see this thing is giving me into that. It starts here, it ends in line 11. So, you know, you don't need to worry how to write it from scratch again. But, you know, one thing you have to notice, what we're trying to achieve here is these stages will be there. You know, everything will be under stages. Then under stage, they have steps. Then under step, you can have so many things. So if you notice these stages, right from these stages is open at this point, close here. You know, stages close here. So all our stage that we want to write now, because we want to add stage, that's what we want to do. So everything must be inside stages, which start from here and in line 10. If you see this guy is giving us good hints that, okay, stages start from here and here. So what I will do is that I will copy it from right here, because I want to create another stage, you know, call something else. You know, I'll copy this, and then I will click my enter right here, then I'll paste it here. So again, it gives me very good syntax. Then again, I want to have another stage. Matter of fact, I will right here again, I'll paste the same thing again. So I can do very cool thing. You know, I'm just showing you how to, I can literally just copy the whole thing. I've written it somewhere that I can just copy and just paste it and whatever, but it's not that helpful that way. So I can do cool things there, you know. I can start editing my code, you know. In some cases, you can have 4 stages. Matter of fact, let's have 4 stages, you know. This thing, I'll paste it here again, Control V. So I have 4 stages now, 1, 2, 3. Of course, they have the same thing, literally. And this is where you have to be creative. Okay, with your first stage, what do you want there? I want to say checkout from Git, or let me just say Git checkout. You can give it any name. literally this stage, you can give it any name. This can be any name inside this bracket. You see, I'm trying to be inside that same syntax. I can say git checkout, because first stage you want to check out from git. Then second stage, I can say, okay, build my job. Then first stage, I can say, okay, I want to test it. If it works perfectly. Then first stage, I will say, okay, deploy to Tomcat. So these are my stage, but of course, the step we have there, it's not what we're supposed to have, So, but this is a good point to start. You can start with this, and Jenkins has so many within the steps. It's something you can look up as well, but they have a lot of syntax. And I think let's go to the dashboard again. They have some very helpful syntax, that we can put here. This is just saying echo hello world, echo hello world, echo hello world, nothing serious. Matter of fact, let's copy this and just go and run it from the console directly. I'm just going to clean this up and just paste this editing. You see, it's not that friendly editing it here compared to the visual code. Again, you can edit it here, it doesn't matter, but visual code give us a better visual of the whole thing. You see all the line up, you see all the stage, everything line up, the color, everything. So it's kind of cool way to again, you can, if you are very good, you are confident, you can edit it directly from here. But this is what I just pasted. Let's see what happens if I just run this. Again, we are not doing anything. It's not going to deploy anything. I promise you. It's just, we literally just say, just git, just echo. Echo is just print. Just print hello world, nothing serious. Okay, let me just say print. Let me say print. First job or first stage. Let me say first stage right here. You can just be creative. Again, you need to understand what those things meant for. I'm trying to just edit it. Second stage, again, you don't need to know how to write this thing off your head. Second stage, we just kind of get the syntax. Interviews will not even ask you that. This one I will say third stage. Then the last one I will say last stage. This is just echo statement. So nothing. We're not doing anything. Yeah, we're not doing anything. This is just like echo statement, just print. But I just want to show you how the pipeline will look like once we run this. So I will just save it. Then I will say build now because we are inside it. I'll say build now. So this should run fast because it's not doing anything. It's not building any job. We don't put anything there. You see, but I just want to show you how pipeline will look like. You see, this is how it looks like. It says the first one successful. Once you see gray, second stage it said was successful. Third stage it was successful. Last one was successful too. So if you have any error anywhere, this one will be red. For example, we write something that doesn't make sense. It will be red, it will fail. So you will know where your distance failed. You know that, oh, the test failed. So, and you can have a lot of other stages right here. But those code you are saying, all these stages you are saying one by one, this is how they will display. Let me show you again. This stage, check out the name. And that's why you can give it any name you want. Build, the same thing, test, deploy to Tomcat, the same good name, just the same name. But, this is the format. If the formatting is not right, what I'm copying, if I miss just one of those curly braces, it will throw me error straightly, So you just need to understand how those things work, the concept and stuff like that. So, but again, we are going to build real this thing. If I go to the output here, if you click on this gray mark, it will show you the console, we call it console output. So you see the echo I'm just doing, it's just, echo is just print, So nothing serious. It will just print that statement. And you see the first one print first stage. You see the black the black print here. So first stage, second stage, these are the things I was putting under echo. When I say echo first stage, echo second stage, these are what you are saying there, echo last stage. So you can do any cool thing, it will work, and it will. So but it's not only echo you can use a lot of things which we're just going to be checking out right now. So so we're going to edit this, we're not happy with this. We don't just want to do any echo because nothing is built, no job is built, but at least we got the format right. So Jenkins, gave us a lot of help. If you go to this pipeline syntax right here, I click on that, it will open another tab, which are very helpful. You see the steps, let me show you this echo now. Maybe you don't know what echo does. You can say echo. Then you can tell Jenkins that hello world. Maybe you want to know what echo does, you can come here. This is a very good assistant. And this thing is telling you that this will be within steps. Any option you select here is within steps. There are a lot of them. I will show you the other one we're going to use. So if I click on generate snippet now, so it tells me that this is the syntax I need. So I can copy this directly and come to my Jenkins and put it within the step. I can put it right here. But again, you just have to know, you see this step, it's open here, it closes here. It opens there, it closes here. So I can have another word that says echo hello world right here. I can have it, but you make sure it's within a step you are working with. For example, maybe I want to edit this step here. It has to be within these guys. You see, it starts here, it ends here. It's like assembly, like a sum to the big stage. Big stage starts here, ends right here in line 9. But this other one starts the small step, which is like a subset of a stage. So it starts on line 6, ends in line 8. So those are small concepts you just need to know. The other is something you can just copy how to perform any task you want to do. But you need to know where to put it. For example, if I just throw echo hello world at this point, it will throw me error. It will definitely throw me error because it's not within where it's supposed to be. It's not within these steps right here. So those are some of the just basic things. Again, we are going to do this thing. So for Git, let's start with Git now. Checkout means that, okay, we want to just like when we were running the first pipeline, we did, we cloned our repository, if you remember, and stuff like that. So Git checkout, we allow Jenkins to copy our Git repository, and they allow us. So again, I want to be lazy. I know the syntax, but I just want to show you how you can look things up and do things on your own. So for Git, for the first stage, we want to use Git checkout. I go back to this. So I want to know what I will put within these steps. That's my problem now. I already figured this out. I already put a name here. Again, this can be any name, but here I want to know what I will put there, what I put within steps. So I will go to my syntax again, which I'm using as a copycat. So I will go to okay, echo. No, I'm not using echo. So I go to the drop down. So I will look for Git. You see Git right here. So Git, I click on Git. So it's asking me that what is the repository, because I'm trying to generate, I'm looking for something to write within my step here. I don't know what I will write here that will allow it to get my Git. So if I go to, so it's asking me for my Git repo. Of course, this is my repo. Make sure you are in your root. Again, to copy your repo, go to code here. Once you get to your repository, you click on your repository, it will take you here. Then just click on this arrow, then copy the repo link. This is your repo. I think it will be the same as copying it from the URL here, I believe. So, but come here, just copy it. This is a copy icon, copy. So then I'll put that right here, right in the URL. Then I'll just Control V or Command V. Then it's happy. So, again, I'm building from branch, so I will leave it as default, including polling, just leave it in default. Then, I don't have it's a public repo, so I don't have to provide any credential. So I will leave that. Then I will hit on generate. So I want it to generate the script for me that I will use. Let's see what it do. So it tells me that this is what I need to use. In my case, I will need to use git, blah, blah. So I just copy it. Again, don't reinvent the wheel, just copy it, but know what you are doing. If not, it will throw you error. Then right here is where I want to put it, right within steps. Again, steps start from line 6 and in line 8. So you want to put it anywhere in between the step. So again, I can leave this as it is and just add it there, or I can just remove it. I think I will remove it. I don't want it to print anything. So I will just say Control V right here. So I'm done with this stage now. With this now, it will be able to clone Jenkins will be able to clone my GitHub repository. Let me show you that even before we proceed. Let me just save it and just hit build now. And just hit build now. So I just want to show you what will happen. Oh, that was quick. So it has cloned everything. If I go to this thing now, it shows me that it cloned my repo, everything is, successful. And that's why you say that. Then if I go to, let me go back. If I go to my, okay, we don't have this thing yet. So yeah, again, it was able to clone my repo, and that's why you can see it from the console here. So, that stage is successful. And that's why, it tells me that and again, if you log into your Jenkins, you'll be able to see that repo right here, right inside this directory. So, it's basically just copy everything in my GitHub. So again, I can do a lot of things. Let's proceed with our pipeline and let's set this up. So we're done with the first stage. We can just copy this back to the visual code and do our bit. I think we can still edit it directly from there. Second stage, we want to build. So to build now, the command, let me go back to my snippet again and see if I will get some expo. So yeah.
I just want to ask, all these things we are running, like the scripts, are we, for example, we're using it to build like just one app, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe just one app. It could be one app can have like 20 of these, because the way they work in those apps.
That's what I want to know, like they are all working together, like
exactly. They working together, yeah. So okay. Yeah, exactly. So one app, we have that in their repository, and it will trigger automatically different.
So now you're now like bringing everything together to.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, yeah, those are just the same thing. We're just working on this same app. This same app that we have in our repo. That we push to this is the one we want to build with that pipeline. But the way we did it before, we are doing it in another way now. We are using this pipeline.
Okay.
Yeah. So I go to the snippet generator again, click on this, then I want to build. Let me see if we have a suggestion on how to build. Okay, build a job. Okay, I have that. Let me see, project to build. No, I'm not going to use this actually. Let me just, for the build, I will run the shell script. There's this command, let me see if it's here, sh. If you want to run any shell script within this. So, if you want to run any shell script like, ls, like move, like, any shell script that we've been working with, like pwd, like cd, you can run that, you can put that here, then it will tell you the syntax to use. So right now, I just want to run nvn clean package, because that's the Maven command to build the application. So clean package, again, don't bother too much about, the command to build this to build the application, that's not really, but you want to put that within the build stage. So let me generate this and let's see. Again, I know how this works. So SH, so it tells me that this is the syntax I need to use. So if I put this now, and then I'll just paste it right here. So I paste it within my build command. So this command by default, if I run this command on my terminal, it will build the application. That's what it will do. But now you see the syntax we have here, SH. We have echo. There are a lot of them. And that's why if you check here, if you check this drop down, you see a lot of them. You see that echo. It tells you it's for print. If you want to run any SH, again, I can run any SH command here. I can say SH, just name any command, print working directory, or maybe ls. Maybe you just want to check what is in your this thing. You can run any Linux command here. You can run a lot, anything. You can say pwd, which stands for current working directory. So, and you can have a lot of scripts right here. So sh, that is what it does. So just sh, then the name of this command. So let me save this and just run it again. It will likely throw me error. Then I will show you how to troubleshoot that. So I will click on build now. So it will check out, that will be successful. Then it will go to you save, and this is why pipeline is cool. It will tell you that, okay, build stage failed. And if one of the stage failed, everything will just fail because it will not run all the stages. So what I can do is that I can click on this and see what's actually went wrong. So I click on this, I try to okay, the first one was successful. So say nvn, this is the command I ran, nvn clean install, build failed. So right here, it tells me that you see the error code here, right here. This is where the error started from. It said, the goal you specify require a project, but there's no POM in your directory. You remember the POM SMS we talked about in the first class for this thing. Let me go to my Jenkins this thing. The POM usually is supposed to be in the root directory, but for our own, we have to go inside our folder before we see POM. So what I will now do right here is that I will go inside this folder before I run that code, before I run that NVM package. I will go inside that. So it failed. I know why it failed. It doesn't find POM file. This is what they call POM file. Guys, again, nothing serious, just some configuration file. This thing, it doesn't find it in our directory because Jenkins is just looking at this directory and it can't find it there. So I will now tell Jenkins that go inside this directory before you run that command. So let me show you what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to configure it again. I'm going to make changes in the code. And this is how you build pipeline. You run into some error, troubleshoot. Again, I will just send this to you. You don't really need to run this from the scratch. You just need to update some of this thing like the Git repo and just understand how it works, but I have to show it. So for the SH now, so I will say CD. I will tell it to CD into this directory, which is this folder. And if you want to combine script in a shell, you use this and. So what I'm saying right here is that CD, your CD, of course, CD is to change directory. So I'm telling it now, when it gets to this stage, CD into this place and run this code. Don't just run it because it's just running it from the root directory. If I log into my Jenkins now, you see that it just copy this directory, and it was looking for POM file in this directory. And it's not inside this directory, it's not in the home directory, it's inside this. So it has to go inside before you see the POM. So that's why I'm changing the code now. I'm saying, okay, again, share sh is just to run the shell script. So I'm saying sh into this, this is the name of this folder you are looking at here. Guys, this is the name. I just copy. I don't want to make any mistake because if this is lowercase and I use uppercase, it will throw me error. So I'll say cd into this, then run this script. So let me save it and build and see what's happened. So if I build now, hopefully it will not throw error this time. You can see it seems like it's going to work now. So, it was able to build successfully, and the code was able to build successfully here. I can go to the output now. You see that it built, it run the Maven build, it said build successful, it built the application. If I go to the, I don't know where this thing is for the pipeline. So it was able to build the application successfully in this stage. And, so we have the application, we have the Maven stage build. Again, look at the, just look at the snippet again, so right now we've done this too. So for this, actually, we don't really have a test script. To test an application, you need to get some scripts. So I will just run a random command here, test, mvn test. There's mvn test, but again, we don't really have a test script, because this is not like a, okay, sh will be outside. So I will say sh, then test this thing. Again, just be sure of where you put in all those things. So this is the third stage, it will test it. So to deploy, again, now we want to deploy the application. We're not just running this for fun, because what we are doing, especially this last stage, is just printing a statement. We're not deploying anything, just that we name it deploy. But right here, we're supposed to put something that will deploy the application. So I will show you how we can do that as well. So right here, we're not doing anything, but we're able to set up these 3 stages, 1, 2, 3, and everything should go as planned. So to deploy now, again, I go back to my shell script. I want to know what I have to put within this environment, within these steps, because that's the main thing that will do the job. So I'll go to this cheating place again, where I used to copy and paste. So I'll go to deploy. Actually, again, you don't need to. So if you remember, we have this option the last time we are doing this on the console, deploy WAR to a container. So I'm going to click on it. I want to see the option to give me. So it's asking me for the WAR to use. Remember, we used something like this the other time. So I'll just do that quickly. So so I put that here. The part, this is the part I showed the other time. I will use another part and just call it part. So this is where I can access the application if it deploy. So here I will click add container. Then again, I'm adding Tomcat 9, which is what we install. If you remember Tomcat 9. So I'll click on Tomcat 9, then it's asking for credential. I set up the credential already. If you follow the last lab I said, so, it's there. So that's why I could select it. If it's not there, what you have to do in your case, let me just briefly talk about that. You can just click on this add icon. I already said the instruction though. Click on Jenkins, then we take you right here. Then you can put your username as, I think we use Tomcat to set the Tomcat app. Then the password we used was password, actually, so then here I can say new Tomcat, because I already used Tomcat. You can put any name here for the ID, new Tomcat, or whatever, So description, just leave it. You can put any name in the ID. The main thing is the username and password. So I'll click on add. So right here, I can select it. I have 2 of them now. Oh my God, I don't even know the last one I used. So I have 2 of them now because I already set it up before. So I will just pick one, but in your case, maybe you only have 1. Then it's asking for the URL of my Tomcat. So where's my URL again? I think I opened the Tomcat somewhere. Okay, this is the URL. This is the URL, which I'm just going to copy. So what am I doing? Okay, sorry. Yeah, this is the URL, which I'm just going to copy, Control C. Again, this will be your own URL, your own page for the let me clean this part. So this will be your home page for the URL. So yeah, so just copy it directly from here, copy, that will be your URL. That, again, this is snippet. We're just trying to generate the code we are going to use, because those things, again, you need to look it up. There's no way you can be putting those things on your head except you're a magician. So again, we're just using the assistant here to provide the information we want to do. Then I'm going to click on generate snippet pipeline script. So it tells me that this is what I need to put inside my step. So I just come, you see, it's a lot of stuff, the credential ID, the path, URL, you see the syntax, no one wants to like go through all these things and know how to do that. No one literally, you have to look it up, and you need to know where to put it, where to be. In our case, this is where we are putting it, right here within steps, because if you see this guy is on step, this is step, we are getting from step. So we are putting it here. I'm just going to run, it's a long script, long line of this thing. So I'm just going to run that. You see how long it is. I think you can separate it or whatever. So I'm just going to leave it. If everything works well, when we access our this thing under paths, if I say /path right now, it's not supposed to work, because there's nothing there. So, we are ready. We are good to go at this point. We have our pipeline, everything is set, so I'm just going to save it now. I don't do any more change. This is just so I'm just going to say build now. Again, we are using manual this thing for now. I'm not really doing the automated part of it. So we are building manually. That's why we are clicking now, build now. So just to show you how things work, you see it passed the build stage, the test stage should pass to, oh my God, the test stage failed. Okay, so basically I need to seed into that directory too. So again, these are part of the whole thing. That's how you do some of all those things. So here I need to CD into this part before I run this code, because it doesn't see the test command, the pump, supposed to see that pump file again. So before this code can run, so I will seed into that before I say MVN test. So if I say build now, I believe we should be good. So again, we don't really have anything tested for now. So everything passed, and it deploy, it was able to deploy to Tomcat. We can verify it here. If I say /path, let me refresh this. We see that this application actually deploy to the new, and we use the pipeline to do that now. So now, this is what Jenkins file is all about. This is just the pipeline. So I will show you another concept of doing this. If I go to configure again, again, everything was successful, and you can have a lot of stages. We're still going to put more stages in between, but this class is just to for us to familiarize. Again, don't worry if you don't understand much of this. Just understand what Jenkins pipeline is, the file, and you don't really need to understand much of all these things. It takes me time to figure out even basic stuff like this. It looks basic to me now. So now what we want to do here is that we want to, let's use, if you check here, there's option, it says pipeline script from SCM. You remember what our SCM is, which is GitHub, which is source code management, that's SCM. So normally in companies and organizations, they don't put the script here directly. They don't put the script here. This is like old way of doing things. Because actually, if someone come here, I'm working in a team of 5, someone come here and mess up with the code, how will I know who does that? Or someone, there's no way to track things, it's not really a best practice to put the thing there. So you have to put the code in the source code repository, okay? So 2 ways we can do that. You can do that on maybe not to make things too complicated, let's just do it in the Jenkins, in the GitHub. This is my GitHub account. So the code has to be right here. Then Jenkins will know that the code is there, then we do the work. So let me just add a file directly here. I don't want to use this thing. Let me add a file from GitHub directly. Then I'll call it, I have to name, it's a must. You have to name it Jenkins file. If the name is different, it will throw you, it will not work. The name has to be Jenkins file. And this is what they call Jenkins file. It has to be in your GitHub account, no extension, no dots, nothing, just Jenkins file like this. Then I will put all the code there. All our code, at least, is working. We know this code is working. I'll just do Control A, then Control C. I'll just put the code there. So, it will be inside. So I do Control V, this is the code now, so then I'll commit it, Again, you can do this on the terminal and just create file if you want to be snaky and, do things ideally, but not to make things too confusing for people. So this is the same script, guys. Nothing serious. So, wow, and this work, I didn't even put the and it works. So if it works, don't break it. Let me just leave it. So this is the same script. Again, this name, you say interview, they will ask you, what is Jenkins file? This is what Jenkins file is. The code, and you put it in a source code repository, source code management, that's where you write your Jenkins script. And, it's usually committed in this thing. This way organization, how they used to do it. So what happens is that if David come to this, again, this is the teamwork. A lot of people will be using this GitHub account and stuff like that. So if anyone come here and make a change, maybe add a new stage to it, you'll be able to see it. Someone make a change, someone do this, what the change is. That is what GitHub is all about. It will allow you to track all those things, allow you to collaborate with people. But right here, if we just leave the code right here, you can't do all those things. You can't track it. If anybody change it, mess up anything, you don't know. So, so it's not a best practice to really put things like this. So we are putting in the GitHub, and what I'm going to write create a Jenkins file. So I'm going to write a description, a commit message, create. This is the same thing as running git commit -m on all those stuff, I'm just trying to cut corner right here, create Jenkins file. You can give this any name, any fancy name. Again, the name of the file has to be Jenkins file. Then I'm just going to commit it directly to master branch. So you see the file right here. It has to be sitting right here. It has to be here. So let's go back to our Jenkins and see what happened. So I will tell Jenkins, I will now not choose this option again. I will go to this drop down, then I will check Jenkins that this is the option I want. Let me click it and see what happened. You see all those code disappear. I don't need to put the code again here. Jenkins know that, okay, your Git is a GitHub repository. So what it will now ask you is that, okay, where is it? It's in Git. So Jenkins will now tell you that, where can I find so Jenkins will be looking for any file that says Jenkins file. That's what Jenkins will be looking for. So Jenkins is now asking me that, where is the repository? So I'll just give you that, okay, Jenkins, this is where my repository is. And for my repository, you will see that file called Jenkins file. So I will put that right here. I will just put my repository here. Again, it's public. I don't need to provide any this thing. So I will, master, everything, right here is now asking that, what is the name of the file? Maybe you didn't name the file Jenkins file. Again, it's like the standard. You should name it Jenkins file. So but you can be creative, maybe, or maybe, for example, in some cases, maybe this file, it's inside another folder. Maybe it's inside another folder. You can tell Jenkins right here that, okay, you can provide the path. You can say, okay, it's inside my folder / Jenkins. You can say stuff like this. Then Jenkins will know that, okay, I need to go inside this folder to look for this file there. Our own is not the case. It's right directly, in our repository, in our root repository. So we are good with this, everything is okay. Again, we just provide the repository. We're not writing the code here. Again, this is how our this thing look like right now. This is how it looks like. Nothing, So if I say save now, let me build now. Let's see if Jenkins will know how to build our code. So you see that it's automatically changing to declarative checkout, SCM, build, it knows that it's checking this from me, so it added this stage automatically actually. So, but again, it was able to go to our GitHub repository, look for Jenkins file. Again, we didn't write this thing there's no code there again. We didn't put any code there again. The code is right in GitHub. This is where the script is. So if I make any changes now there, Jenkins will know, it will update it. Anytime I want to build again, again, we can do our fancy stuff. We can configure our build trigger again, poll SCM, and just put our stuff back there again, so that Jenkins can build whenever we make any change, to our code. So again, I'm just going to make a change and deploy and just try it again. Right now, this is what we have. I'm just going to make a change to the source code. So I'll go here. This is the source code, not the POM. This is the source code. So I'm just going to say, okay, I'm just going to edit this. Again, this should be done on the terminal, git add, git commit, but again, I want to make this simple. So I would say, welcome to Techdavez again, So I want to see if our stuff is working right. So now Jenkins is supposed to build automatically, without anybody telling it, and do all the pipeline from A to Z. Then our new application should be deployed to Tomcat, automatically. So let's see. This should be done every minute. So, I think it will take a few seconds before it gets to that. Yeah, this is what again, this is what the Jenkins file is all about, which is very, very key. Again, I've had the interview, you see it's pending now, it's built automatically. I didn't touch it, it will run the test, it will build it, run the test, deploy it to Tomcat, do any cool stuff you can think of. So it's yeah, so if I refresh the application, this is a Tomcat URL, guy. This is from Tomcat. If I refresh it, you see the changes I made now. It's updated in the repository. And, so again, this is how Jenkins pipeline works. Again, looking at the code, looking back at the code, I don't have anything again. I'm using this option that says, pull from here, it's getting it from SCM. So, and which is this guy right here, is getting the code right here, right from this guy. This is our pipeline as a Jenkins file. That is the name, Jenkins file. And that's why when I save on the visual code, when I save it with Jenkins file, it automatically know what I want to write. So it gave me the cool syntax and everything. It allowed me to write a very clean stuff, although we later wrote it somewhere else. But, so that's just, again, you don't really, it might be too complicated or anything, just don't worry. In your own case, I can just send you the snippet, the script, just make the changes there, change the, what you have to change is the URL for your repository right here. Maybe your Tomcat, the IP address will be different. Again, you don't need to do any clicking much on Jenkins. So if I send this to you, you can just clone my repository, and just get this directly. The only thing you need to change is this, the IP address right here. Of course, you need to do all those integration. So we advise you start from, the previous classes, do it manually first, the way we deploy it the previous time. But this is how, in organization, in this thing, we are just using a small code now, but this is the basic, and, this is mostly what you need to know in pipeline. Again, these are just stage you see on the terminal, nothing serious. You can come here and change this to know, I want to change it to another name. It doesn't matter. The main thing is what you have within these steps, which differs, and then the advanced things you can do with Jenkins too. You can do with this script there. Not that I will really bug you guys with that. So but these are basic things, we are able to deploy. We can add other things. Maybe we want to deploy to another place, we can add another step. I will just copy this stage, paste it in another line, make my changes, rename it with anything, and look for what to write. Again, you see, I just copy this, just make my changes there. It's through the help of this guy here, because they know too, it's not what someone, they don't expect you to put maybe you want to email someone this time. I don't really know how to use this tool, but it's very cool. You can send email directly from there. Maybe if you are done building, it will send email to you that, okay, this is done, and then stuff like that. You can do a lot of cool things, and this will be within the step. You can call this one, send an email, then anything that it gives you, you can just put it within the step here. But again, you need to understand the syntax, like this pipeline is just closing in the last line. The stage is closing in the second to the last line. This is closing right here. Some of those basic things, just follow it and then understand how they work. So again, we're able to just changing the code, not doing anything. We're able to see the application running. Everything was done automatically through the pipeline that you are looking at here, through the pipeline script, and this is a typical Jenkins pipeline. So, yeah.
Sorry, I wanted to, is it possible maybe if you can run this stuff on the terminal? So since the terminal is, like you said, is the best practice for us to work maybe on a work site and all, maybe if you can just do some little stuff on the terminal. So we see how this stuff, even if you just to copy and paste it there. So let's just see how it's actually done on the terminal. So.
The part I'm talking about is basically the Git part. And I said, if you want, okay. I think I get what you are saying. Let me see what I can do to that. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to clone my repo right here. This is my Windows terminal. I'm not even going to log in on any EC2 or whatever. So I have some stuff right here on my download folder. So I'm going to clone my repo. Hopefully I have permission to do that. I think I do. Where's my repo? Okay. So, so let me clone it, let me clone it. But the part I'm talking about, it's better they do it like when I added this Jenkins file, that's the part I was talking about. I added it directly right here, So I was saying, it's better, it's kind of good practice to do it on the terminal. And when I edited the code, when I edited the source code right here, it's I said you should be done through terminal, through all the Git command. But it's something we can do. If I just clone my repo, this is my computer directly. I'm not even on EC2.
Okay. What about the Jenkins script you wrote? Can it be written from the terminal, or it has to be written on either the Jenkins or the Git?
Yeah. The visual code is running on my terminal. I can write it here, But what happened is that, okay, once I write it here, you understand, I can write it here, name it or whatever, name it my Jenkins file, right? Then I will just have to commit it to GitHub. That's it, But this is my terminal, this is my computer, this is where I can write it. Because again, like I said, it's not really cool writing it from here, but I was able to do that actually because it's still kind of manageable. I wrote it from terminal directly from Jenkins dashboard. But normally, we should write it here. So if I write it right here now on this guy, this is my computer. This is on this is my desktop. I have training, then I have the distance. Then from the Git distance, I put all the steps here. I think it's Git then, whatever, I have to copy that again from the snippet. Then this again, I change it, I can do everything right here, basically deploy to, this code is not updated. That's why I don't want to use it, or I can just use the one I've written already. If it works, don't change it. That's the rule. So I can, the one I've written right here, again, you can, I don't think, it's not really best practice to write it directly from the from the Jenkins system, but if you are comfortable and if it will work well, especially with the syntax, there's nothing bad doing that. So this is the code. Assuming I just write it from the VS Code, this is on my computer, not anywhere. I'm writing it on my computer now. So I can just save this, like say, okay, come here, save, save. I save it as Jenkins file, it's named as Jenkins file. So if I go to my computer directly now, where is it? I save it, what are you talking about? Oh, okay, simple YAM, okay. Let me forget that. So if I go to my computer right here on my, what's it called? I think it's on download. No, it's on desktop. This is my computer. It's under training.
No, your stuff is not showing. We are seeing the GitHub page.
Oh, damn. Okay. Sorry. Where's this thing again? Stop sharing. Then I'm going to share again now. Then, okay. Let me know once you can see my screen. Okay. Okay, can you see my screen now? You should be able to see my screen now.
Yeah, it showed just now, but
okay. Yeah. So can you see my my computer?
Yes.
Main computer. So this is where I store this thing. I think it's under desktop. Let me give it a better formatting. Let me just give it like no, I think it's right here. List. So that you see it better. So I have you see the Jenkins file. This is the one I just created now. This is right on my computer, okay? So yeah, this is right on my computer. So what I can do now is that I can push this to my GitHub from here directly, So assuming, let me be double sure if this is right. So maybe I should remove this. I will remove this from my, let me see. Let me remove this. Let me delete this. So yes, delete. Yeah, so I deleted the Jenkins file now. So normally it's not supposed to work. So I will go to my terminal, to my any code editor or whatever, it doesn't any client that you can run your terminal, maybe Git bash for Windows, this thing, then I'll just clone the repo I have. So if I use ls now, this is the repo I have. Oh, where is it? Where's my repo? Okay, this is it, the Git class, no, the Java. Where is it? Where is it clone? ls. Okay, sorry. I didn't do LSL. So this is it right here. Yeah, Java project, this is a Java project, named Java project. This is my repo, this is my repo. Again, this is my repo. So I have my repo right here now. So what I'm going to do is, and where do I have my Jenkins file again? Let me see, where do I have my Jenkins file? Let me go, let me see the part. I just want to copy it directly. Again, you get more familiar with Git bash. I have it under desktop training. Then I have Jenkins there. Okay, desktop training. I think, okay, I mean under this thing now. Okay. So let me just say copy. Sorry, let me just say copy user /AWS. I want to just put the full part there, download. I mean, I can copy it manually, from this thing, just copy and paste it in the repo that I just did. No, it's I think it's desktop, and then training, then Jenkins file. I just want to copy Jenkins file there. Then what I want, where I want to copy it, I want to copy in my repo, which is where's this guy? Where's my repo? What's my repo? The Java. So what I did now is that I just copied this guy. It's the same thing as me just dragging it here. I just want to be fancy. That's why I'm doing this. It's the same thing as me doing it here, doing right click. You understand? Copy. Then I will come to my repo. I clone my repo. Repo is like, and this is where I clone my repo. This is my repo. Then I paste it here. But I do that on the terminal on my command line. That's why you see the Jenkins file was not there before when I clone it. And that's why you see it's different from what is there. The Jenkins file was not there when I clone it. Because of the command, this command I ran, that's why, let me clean because of this command, that's what brought this thing. So I basically just copy it inside this Jenkins project, which is the name of my repo that I clone. So I copy it already, it's there. So what I can do now is that, I can CD into my repo. Oh, okay, Java. So I can CD into my repo. If I use ls, the Jenkins file is there now because I just copied it there. So what I can do is I can do git add dot, and then I will do git commit -m. Again, I did this on the terminal the other time, and I said it's not a best practice. That's why I'm doing it on the command line now. Git commit, adding Jenkins file to repo or whatever, and then I can do git push. I push it to my repo. Then you see, if I refresh my repo, you should see there, git push. Again, you can use git push alone. Matter of fact, they like to do too much. Origin master. So it pushes it to my master branch now. It didn't even ask me for password. Maybe I'll find type it. So if I refresh this thing, I should see the Jenkins file. And what should happen is a build should be triggered. So I have it now right here. So if any developer, if I'm working on this code, for example, I want to make a change here, again, I'm working in a real environment. I already cloned the repo. I already cloned everything. I can make any change here, like, okay, maybe I want to add another thing to my Jenkins file, or maybe I just want to add another stage right here. So I can do that, just do this, then I will save it. Let me just use Control S, to save it, or just come here, save, then I can come back to my terminal and run git add again, because this is a new this thing. Then I run git add again, git commit, git everything, push the latest updates back to GitHub, then it will be updated. Right now, this is what I still have there. What we have. You remember I deleted this, I just push it back in. And this is how these things works, and it will allow you know that, okay, this is what goes on. If we are working collaborative on this thing, it will tell me that Kenneth is the one that pushed this thing there. If someone come here, make changes there, it will tell them that, okay, this is the person that made the change, or anything. So it again, I know a lot of people are not too familiar with Git. That's why I just want to show it manually, do the editing and stuff like that. And as I committed this thing, I'm very sure this thing will trigger a build. I think this is the demo pipeline. Yeah, I'm sure another build was triggered in the process, or probably not. So, but again, this is how those things works, and you can do that in this thing. You can just add file like this directly. That again is best practice. The name, just make sure the name is there. You have the scripts, everything written within the pipeline. If I'm working with a company, I have to clone it like this, then I will open it with my editor. Then I will literally do the same thing I did now, just push it back and then stuff like that, because they won't even allow you to edit it right here. So, I mean, but you can do it right here if you want to. But does that answer your question?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, just again, I'm just trying to, again, this is the same thing. The command I run is just to copy, just to copy Linux command, nothing serious, just copy from this. I have to, because I'm not in that directory, that's why I have to put it, if Jenkins file is inside my current, I will just say copy this to this. So because I'm not inside that folder, that's why I have to like specify the full path. Then, I tell it copy, this is the source, then this is the destination. Copy this to this, copy this to this, that's just what I did. And, I committed this thing. But at first I had to like clone the repo. That's why I have this folder. When I didn't clone it, the folder was not there. So those are just some basic this thing, Linux. And that's why you need to really understand Linux. I mean, not too deep like that, but at least some of the basic one, the Git is very important too. So, but that's this is our little pipeline. We'll be adding few stuff with it, like SonarQube, maybe like a team, just to see how some of all those things works together. But again, this is how the overall process, how it works, and
Mr. Kenneth.
Yes, so
sorry, just to digress a little, the Tomcat commands that you sent, maybe you can just check it out. Or like sending an email like you sent it to me that time.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah,
but let me know the specific one you are having issue with. It's a lot of command.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can maybe just send me a picture, screenshot, or whatever, and we can take a look.
Well, maybe I'll try and do that tomorrow morning or something.
Yeah, okay. All right, guys. Again, don't bug yourself too much about knowing too detail about this thing. You can take a look. I will send the scripts to you guys to take a look and maybe a date, but just understand it's where the stages, then the steps is what actually execute the stuff. Then the rest is the syntax. And again, don't really need to cram things. Just understand the syntax, what you need to change, what you need to add, do all those things. It's always like that. If they give me pipeline to edit or add this thing, I will look online, search. Okay, maybe they want me to integrate SonarQube or integrate something. I will do my research. What to add to the steps. The company information will be different. They will have IP address different from this. They will have like a URL I need to put. They will have some kind of variable and stuff like that. A little bit more this thing. So I will know where to put all those things. I will know how to add step to it and put some other condition or whatever. So but apart from that, nobody will ask you, but just understand the basic, what Jenkins pipeline is very important. What the Jenkins file, which I just show you, the file itself, is the one you put in the GitHub, and is the one that has all the scripts, it's very important. And you see how Jenkins was able to pick the Jenkins, go to our GitHub and was looking for any file that says Jenkins file, then it will go through it and read the pipeline script there. Guys, yeah, I'm sure if you go over it again, you'll be more clear with a lot of things. Any other question before we call it a day, a night?
Just one question. I just want to ask, can the cron job, can it be run on the script, like on that script?
Yeah, absolutely. The cron job can be run under the script. There's a place they used to put it. I think it's on the it's on top of the distance. You can specify the cron, then you specify you remember the cron syntax we talk about, the star, the 5 star. So you, depending on for example, maybe you want to be running the job every 1 hour or every end of the day, you will specify the cron syntax. Maybe it will be 12 star, 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 or maybe star, then 12 or whatever, I don't know it off my head, the syntax for this thing. But yeah, you can specify it. I think it will be on top before stages. That's where you put that. So you can do a lot of things there, a lot, that again, these things, you just have to go over it on your own. And, if you want to, sincerely, you don't really need to bug too much on. I mean, you can learn other stuff there too, but, just understand the basic and, if the job require you to now use some of the advanced, then you research it, you can add it. Maybe job require it to be run on a cron basis instead of triggering it from a GitHub. So, you can add that to the job, to the script. So you can do a lot of things, a lot of complicated things. These are just basic this thing. You can put some conditional statement that, okay, if you fail, do this, you can run like a parallel job. Like, okay, these two should run at the same time. So this stage, you see our stages running one after the other. You can have like a stage, especially deployment. In most cases, they used to do deployment in parallel. Like, okay, deploy them into different environments at a time. Instead of us deploying into Tomcat alone now, we can say deploy to Tomcat at the same time, deploy to another Tomcat. Maybe they have like 4 different Tomcats separate this thing. So in environment, they can say, okay, deploy to deployment, development environment, staging, production, they can run that parallel, so that it doesn't have to be one after the other. You can specify a parallel syntax that, okay, do that at a time, do the deployment at a time, So that will save much time. And so you can do so many creative stuff with the pipeline script. And then, again, understanding the basic, how it works, how to search some of the script and stuff like that is very key. Yeah. Any other question, guys?
No question for now, because I still need to go over the video, sure.
Yeah, sure. And yeah, again, I will send some of these things, and I will set it up.
Okay.
Can you just help us maybe drop that script on the comment section so we'll copy it?
The Jenkins script, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Let me do that. Hard file. Then I think it's on my computer.
Or you can even drop these scripts and labs on the chat, on the WhatsApp chat.
Well, people use computer, okay? Not everyone log in on WhatsApp with on the PC.
Once we close this meeting, the Zoom meeting.
No, they will download it immediately. They will download it before they leave.
That downloads immediately. Yes, but on WhatsApp it remains there. One can still reference it to make mistakes for easy access. It's always good for discussions.
Okay. Maybe they should put them in both places.
No, it's here already. You can download there. Maybe I can put it on the WhatsApp too. But what I just say is that most people use WhatsApp with phone. Not everyone use this thing. So accessing it on those things will be a little bit, not everyone.
Let's, for instance, me now, looking at it, sometimes I want to type the code myself, but I make some mistake. Just open my WhatsApp on phone and check, okay, where did I make the mistake, so that I will not make that mistake again. It's not compulsory, I just do copy and paste. Like if I prefer typing it, because if I type it, I remember it. And I remember any error.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, unlike start going back to and whatever.
Yeah, I'll drop it on WhatsApp too if you get there. I have it here. You guys can download it before the end of this thing, and just take a look. You can download it on your this thing. You can open it with your visual code. I'm sure if you right click on the file, you should see option to open with visual code. You can see it better because if you open it by default, I think on Windows, it will use Notepad to open it, and you not really like what you will see. So it will mess everything up, most likely. Unless if you have Notepad++, it's very cool too. Notepad++ will give you a very good this thing too. So you can check that out for Windows if you don't want to use Visual Code sometimes. It's very cool. It has good formatting and other stuff. Notepad++. Yeah, so by default, I think it's only Notepad that came with Windows. The Notepad will not really will mess this thing up for you. Yeah, but again, you can open with Visual Code. Just right click on it and open it directly with Visual Code. You see better. You can edit better with that, and you know, make changes and do anything. All right. Any other question?
He joke.
He joke. That's a joke. This one is smart.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I went over like 3 classes today. The only place where I got stuck is this Tomcat installation. So,
I'm sure.
I think the thing is that sometimes when you are stuck, maybe you can always just go on YouTube and check some of
it. Yeah.
It helps.
Yeah. So, no problem, sure.
And I'm always.
I'll reach out to you, Kenneth.
Yeah, even at work, even during work, I'm not that busy. You know, I can reply tests and stuff like that. So you know, you can easily hit me up whenever this thing.